After the defeat of Frieza and peace was brought about the entire universe, the Saiyans, who had a bad reputation, slowly worked towards getting a good reputation. With the help of Bulma and the Galactic Patrol helping everybody out, the Saiyans would soon change. Over the next course of about a year, things would be very peaceful, as the Saiyans, though it took some time, they would begin adapting to their new job, as their new job description was to more say help planets instead of destroying them. There were some Saiyans who rebelled against this and they did not want it, but that was quickly snuffed out by Vegeta and the council members. Now what about Goku? Well, Goku would have actually stayed back home on Earth with his wife Bulma and Gohan. That would have gone the same. Now, they did offer Goku to at least become a council member, but Goku disagrees, as he doesn't really want to be given that kind of power. He's not much of a leader type, but they respect him enough to leave that alone. But they did tell him that they do need his input and his help, which Goku of course agrees, saying that if y'all ever need my help, let me know. So they do respect Goku enough, but the chair is always ready for him to sit down to become a council member. The majority of them do agree that Goku realistically should be the new head of council like Vegeta is, but Vegeta has been amazing. Though Vegeta still has his drive to surpass Kakarot one day, as he still has his Saiyan side, Vegeta has mellowed out a lot, with also Chi-Chi keeping him in check. They would also have a child as well, and it's up to you guys in the comments to decide the name. But I feel like Vegeta would definitely give the child a Saiyan name and he would not change his mind on that, so decide in the comments. Now, not much will really change until Trunks would then arrive. Now, once when Trunks does arrive, the thing difference here is Trunks would then be waiting for Goku to land, as he suspected that Goku will be landing after Namek's explosion. But nothing happens. Trunks would then continue waiting a couple more hours, nothing happens. He gets worried. Did he arrive on the right date? Double checking with his time machine, he did. So Trunks was very, very confused, but also worried. He would then fly over to where Goku's house originally was, but it wasn't there. He begins worrying even more. Did him going back to the past change this much? He would then finally make it, arriving to Capsule Corp. To where at that point, he then sees Goku, and he was relieved. Okay, Goku's here, but why is he at Capsule Corp? Where's his house? He would then find Goku with Bulma, and he would ask to speak to Goku alone. Now, Goku was confused on who this guy was, but he had a Capsule Corp jacket. Maybe he was an employee. So, Goku would then be pulled aside, and he would then talk to Trunks. Goku can tell that this young man does have a high power level. He can feel it. He senses also he seems kind of familiar. As after Trunks would then explain everything to Goku and who he is, Goku was surprised. Goku would then explain his side of the story, as Trunks is eager to know. The biggest bombshell would be, wait, what, Chi-Chi? I'm not with Chi-Chi, I'm with Bulma, making Trunks fall over. After about 5 to 10 minutes of discussing things back and forth, Trunks was utterly shocked. Did going back in time truly change this much? Goku would also explain about the High Council members and how the Saiyans are brought back, and they're living the life. The universe is fantastic. Trunks could not believe this. His father was the head of the council and ruling over the Saiyans with another lady. But wait, this also worries Trunks. Is Trunks born? If that's the case, then why is he still here? But then Trunks then realizes that timelines are affected different. He must be from a totally different timeline, but he doesn't know. Remember, Trunks is still new to the timeline effect. They don't really know. Also, timelines are confusing in Dragon Ball in general. But Trunks would then calm himself down, but he would then explain anyway, that no matter what, there might be a heart virus that might get you, and there's medication for it. Goku would take it anyway, as he doesn't know, and he would also explain about Dr. Gero and the Red Ribbon Army. Now, Goku would then explain that that name does seem familiar, but now he killed all the Red Ribbon Army people. There is none of them. Trunks was shocked to hear this as he explains, so none of them escaped. Did you change anything? Did you do anything differently? And how would Goku know? He states that you let some of them live, and that's how Dr. Gero was able to escape. Goku says, nope, I killed every single one of them, and I destroyed all their bases, everything. This shocked Trunks more than anything, but Trunks doesn't know if Dr. Gero could have potentially escaped. He doesn't know, so just to be double sure, he would still tell Goku, and he would explain to Goku where the androids could be arriving and what time, just to be safe. Goku then understands, but then he pauses. He's like, wait a minute, but didn't technically, that's 3 years from now, right? And he says, yep. And he says, okay, so how are you going to come back and forth? You said you're from the future, right? Do you time travel or something? as then right behind him was Bulma. She heard about the time traveling thing, and Trunks nearly fell over. He didn't sense her coming, because he was too busy freaking out about Goku. And who else was nearby? Piccolo. As remember, Piccolo can be far away, and he can hear things. So now that the cat's out of the bag, Trunks says to please keep this quiet for right now. I beg you, please. And he would then explain things to Bulma, who would have the same reaction as he did, probably a little bit worse. Piccolo would be surprised, but he keeps his composure. Since they're now the only three that will know, that's good enough. But he explains, and he's serious to not tell anyone else. If they do know, that could be a big problem. Now, he says the only thing you can say is that a threat could potentially be arriving in about 3 years' time. Goku then states, well, wouldn't that let everybody know then? What if there's no androids that appear? And Trunks says, that's the only option that we have. So, Trunks would then get back in his time machine, and he would then leave, saying that he will be back to help them if they do need it. So, Goku would take this seriously. Now, Goku thinks he could probably take these androids on by himself, but just to keep it quiet, they'll just be prepared. And by prepared, they'll just kind of keep it in everybody's heads to keep strong. So, for the next 3 years, Goku will mainly be training him and Gohan, and Piccolo will be joining in as well. They'll be training in the gravity room, and increasing the gravity even higher and higher and higher, up to 300 times gravity, which is insanity. By this point, Gohan and Piccolo are absurdly strong, same with Goku. He wants to be sure that he's as strong as possible for if these androids are true, and if they are as strong as he said. But if that timeline is different, maybe the androids are different. Maybe they're stronger or weaker. There's a lot of what ifs, but he doesn't know. Now, Gohan and Piccolo have gotten immensely strong. By this point, this is when the 3 years would then pass. Goku, Piccolo, Gohan, and Bulma, who was nearby, of course, would then wait for these androids to appear at the exact location, but nothing happens. No one appears. As Goku would then look around, he says, let's wait for a little while longer. A little while passes and nothing. Goku also has not felt any symptoms of a heart virus yet, so Goku might think that, well, maybe nothing happened. Maybe him going back and warning us, and maybe me destroying them actually did do something. And Bulma states, well, just to be double sure, she'll keep an eye on this city, or any other cities around, to see if they do appear. But nothing. Now this means that there is no androids, which they do conclude, as Bulma would still do some digging around, exploring around that area, and she would soon find an old laboratory. Now, after exploring this old laboratory, this was not even beginning to start worked on yet. It had some equipment, some little things here and there, some files, but that's about it. This was actually Dr. Gero, who had his own secret lab, like all evil scientists do. But it wasn't even done yet. And there was some stuff for some android projects, but there's nothing showing that one is even made or nothing. Bulma states that, yeah, and all these dates go back to when you actually killed all of them during the Red Ribbon Army saga. So yes, this means that there must be no androids. This will relieve Goku, as he's glad, but Bulma states we also need to watch that heart virus. If you feel anything weird, please tell me right away and we'll give you that medicine. Goku understands, but as the weeks pass, nothing. Now, Trunks would have already arrived during those couple of weeks, and he would be shocked to see that the androids are not even here. So Goku actually destroying the Red Ribbon Army actually worked. This was a big relief for him, as that means that, I guess, the future changed a lot, but I guess in a very good way. He would also be interested in going to see the other Saiyans, as that would be really interesting to see the planet Vegeta for the first time. But maybe he'll wait until later. As for right now, he needs to ask Goku for help then, as Trunks is not as strong enough to be able to go fight these other androids. Now, whoa, what about Cell? Well, Cell by this point is already on Earth. That would have still happened the same. This is the original timeline Cell, or the future timeline Cell, who killed Trunks in that timeline, took the other time machine back. It's a confusing concept, but Cell is still here. But now during that time, Goku would actually agree in leaving and going with Trunks to the future to actually help him stop the androids. He would also, just to be sure, to train with Trunks and to help him grow a little bit stronger. They do have a gravity room, and Trunks says that's a brilliant idea, so he'll keep that in mind for his mother to potentially build one when they start rebuilding. So, Goku and Trunks will begin their training very hard. Now, by this point, Trunks does have Super Saiyan, as we know. Goku has his own version of Super Saiyan, and he would showcase that to Trunks, which would shock him. That's not Super Saiyan, but he doesn't even know what's what anymore. And Trunks would actually get a pretty big power up, because Goku is also teaching him how to train, as Trunks realistically only learned from Master Gohan. And Gohan did not get really the biggest teacher of all time. What I mean by this is Piccolo taught him how to survive and how to do basic training, but he never taught him how to train correctly. Look at Goku. Goku has had Master Roshi, Korin, Popo, Kami, King Kai, and so on and so forth. Goku's had a lot of masters to teach him how to train correctly. And Piccolo, although he has matured a lot, back then he was still pretty young too. Piccolo was only about 8 years old, so 8 to 10 years old, so realistically, true, he trained Gohan very harshly, but Gohan was not much of a trainer himself. He doesn't know how to train the right way, as he does keep in shape, but he doesn't train smart like his father does. And Goku would help teach Trunks that, and teach him everything that he knows, techniques, and more, to help Trunks be as strong as possible. And, cutting forward, they would then spend the next few weeks training. Trunks would get very strong. Since they have a healing chamber, Goku would then beat on Trunks, basically giving him the Zenkai boost, and also Piccolo would be there and Gohan would be there. Trunks would get very strong. Now, Trunks' power level will be similar in power scaling wise to around what he was when he exited the Hyperbolic Time Chamber with Vegeta, and that's because they're using intensive gravity plus Zenkais, and Goku's teaching him how to train smart. Vegeta's also not the smartest trainer either. He trains so hard, but he can never really surpass Goku because Goku trains correctly. Cutting forward, we are now going to have Goku and Trunks go into the time machine and then go back to the future. So, once when they would arrive, Goku was literally shocked. All these cities are absolutely destroyed. He's never seen so much death and chaos in his life, as he thinks this could have been what our future could be. And Trunks says, yep, soak it in, this is what I've been dealing with my whole life. He would then look at him, as Trunks would then state, and my master Gohan died protecting all these people. And I'm the last one left. I'm the last Z-Fighter left. Goku and Trunks would then go meet up with Bulma, as Bulma would then drop her glass of coffee, as she was shocked. It was Goku, right there in front of her. She rubbed her eyes, thinking that she was going senile. She would then cry and hug Goku, as she was so upset. Goku was surprised. Bulma looks a little old, but he was happy to see her. As he would then hug her back, Trunks would then explain everything to Bulma, as Bulma was a bit surprised that she actually got with Goku in another timeline, but she soaks all that in pretty well, as Trunks then explains that everything went perfect, and he explains about his father and his time. It's a bit of a confusing concept with Vegeta, the Saiyans, this High Council thing, everything. He explains it all. He also explains that Goku did not succumb to the heart fires, nor was there any androids. But, Mother, I promise you, he is stronger than anything I've ever seen. The androids stand no chance. I can probably even defeat them now by myself. Now, this is when Bulma was really glad that Goku was here, as no matter how dark things would come, Goku would always appear and save them. Now, Goku states, I may not be your Goku from your timeline, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to do everything I can, Bulma. I promise to stop these androids and defeat them and bring your Earth to peace. I promise. So, this is when the alert on the radio would then call out that the androids are attacking another city again. Androids 17 and 18 were destroying a city, as they were literally bored out of their minds. They haven't seen that golden hair guy in a while, but other than that, they're pretty bored. This is when Trunks would then tell Goku to let me fight them first, please. As he would then take off his jacket and his sword, leaving it there, as he would then walk up in the black tank top Trunks in Super Saiyan, telling them that it's over. He's here to destroy them now. After all the pain and suffering that you caused for your own amusement, it's done. Now, the fight would go a little bit similar to how Trunks did when he did return back from his time traveling, but albeit a little bit more difficult because the androids would then tag team him, fighting together, but Trunks would still struggle, but I think that Trunks would do a very good job. And the only reason why Goku was there, just because, in case, if Trunks needed help, as they wanted to be sure. But Trunks was actually holding his own very well, and he was actually able to kill Android 18. Now, after killing her, Android 17 was shocked, as Trunks would then turn to him, telling him that it's over now. But Trunks was completely exhausted after fighting, and Android 17 has limitless stamina. And this is until we see Cell. as Android 18 was surprisingly still alive. As Trunks blasted her with a ki blast right through her stomach, blasting her on the ground, she was still alive, albeit barely. This is when we would have Cell appear from the shadows. He could sense the power levels nearby. He would then secretly grab Android 18, absorbing her, and transform. They would then sense a massive power level spiking out of nowhere, as then second form Cell would then appear. This Cell would then begin laughing, as he states that he was going to take the time machine, but I guess now he's not, as then he would then begin attacking Trunks, overpowering him easily. Android 17 would then try attacking, as he says what happened to Android 18, Cell would do a solar flare, which Goku would even be blinded with as well, as then he would then absorb Android 17, becoming Perfect Cell. Now that he's perfect, he would then begin attacking Trunks, and Trunks has zero chance against Cell, getting his shoulder blasted right through with a simple death beam-like attack, as he would then turn, and his biggest smile would appear. He thought he sensed it, and it's true. It's Goku. Goku was here right in front of him. He's a bit confused as to how he died, as he then states, "Ah, you must have came from that time machine, or whatever it was called. I thought I saw it appear. But this is a treat. Now I can actually kill Trunks here, and take over the world, and take over the universe if I want, but now I can kill you and get my mission done. This is perfect." As Goku was actually getting a bit excited to fight somebody like Cell. Cell is extremely powerful. But now the two would begin their matchup, as Goku would then begin fighting Cell, as Goku was already in base form. That's all he needed, as Cell was absurdly strong, but not against Goku. Goku was easily outclassing Cell. Even though Cell would even try going to his full power, he was shocked with how strong this version of Goku is. Not even Super Saiyan yet, and he's already doing this to him. Now this is when Cell would then try and freak out, and he would try charging up a solar Kamehameha to destroy Goku and the planet, that way he can win, pulling a Frieza move. Goku would then blast a Kamehameha wave, hitting Cell, blowing him in half, but he would then instantly regenerate. Cell would then tell Goku that as long as one of his cells remain, he will always return. Goku would then smirk at him and tell him, "How stupid you are telling me that. Now all I gotta do is just blast you until there's nothing left." Cell is a bit egotistical like Frieza and Vegeta, so of course he would say something like that. Cell would begin panicking, as he could try self-destructing, but what's that gonna do in the end? As he's worried that it might kill him as well. And he's not in his second form either, even though I still think he could blow himself up, but he doesn't know if he'll die or not. So Cell was pretty persistent. He would continue to try attacking Goku. Goku would then gut punch Cell, and this is when Cell would then fall backwards, as Goku would then charge up a Kamehameha, appearing right in front of Cell, hitting him full force, completely incinerating Cell, making sure that there is no trace remaining, as the blast would then shoot out into space. Now that Cell was easily dispatched of, he would then help Trunks get back up and give him a Senzu Bean. Now that Trunks was fully recovered, getting his old Zenkai boost, he would then shake Goku's hand, as Goku would then leave. Bulma would then hug him, telling him that, "Listen, tell the other me that she did make a pretty good choice. And thank you so much for saving us." And Goku would also then tell Trunks about something else. Before he leaves, he would then tell Trunks about a planet. Now what does this mean? Well, during their travels, as you know, the Saiyan Empire has been spreading all over the place. They would come across planet Namek, which does have Dragon Balls. Goku heard about this from Bulma. Since, remember, over the course of the year, they've been traveling to every single planet, making sure that there's no issues. And one of King Cold's men was actually on planet Namek, which has gotten pretty much destroyed. So, if that's the case, the Dragon Balls are still there. He states if the Namekians still have Dragon Balls there, maybe you can find it and try and find these Dragon Balls, because then you can use them to wish them back. As Trunks states that he'll do whatever he can, as he states maybe try talking to Popo. Popo knew Kami best, and maybe he knows where the coordinates are of planet Namek, but he doesn't know since he never asked Bulma to give him the coordinates of that planet. But Bulma and Trunks would then thank him anyway, as he would then leave. As Trunks would continue using the knowledge that he could talking to Popo, finding the Namekian spaceship, and they would then use that with Bulma's help to make a spaceship for Trunks to fly to Namek, where he would befriend the people. He could then use the Dragon Balls there to actually bring back his friends and family. But that's for Trunks' future timeline. Cutting back forward, there will be peace on Earth. As for the next 7 years, the Saiyan's empire would continue growing. Now wait a minute, what about Cell? Well, we know that Cell originally traveled back into time, and we already know that he's been there already. Now we know that that would nullify out because he was stopped by Goku and Trunks, but just for laughs and giggles, Cell was still brought back to the past timeline, so Cell is still there. Cell would have been destroyed by either Piccolo, and probably even a being like Gohan because of how strong they are. Piccolo would have easily killed Cell, destroying every single fiber of him, because there's no androids here anyway. So Cell would just be jumping city to city, absorbing people. So Piccolo would have killed him, and probably after telling Goku that, be a little surprised, but after that, it would be 7 years apiece. They would have a second child as well, naming them Goten, as I think that Goku will probably still name him Goten anyway, or if you want to name them Bra, it's perfectly fine. That's up to you. Or you could even say that they have another son and they name him Trunks. That's up to you guys in the comments to decide. Now, they would have their final child, and this is when the child will be a boy. So, cutting forward, over 7 years of peace. Goku will continue training for the next 7 years, helping his sons grow in power, as Gohan is now gone to high school. The same events would have happened with Gohan being a Super Saiyan by this point, easily. He would have still been the Golden Warrior, meeting Videl, that would have all gone the same. With also Gohan becoming the Great Saiyan Man, because Bulma still made the outfit for him, that would have gone the same. But Gohan's not rusty here. Now, what about the Buu arc? Well, since Goku never died, Vegeta never has a big grudge against him. He has everything that he could have won. A family, an empire, he's happier than ever. Now, once when the Supreme Kai does appear, he would still ask them for help, and Goku, Piccolo, and Gohan would go, because Vegeta's not on planet Earth, as he's currently on planet Vegeta. But if they do need help, they would ask. By this point, Goku, Piccolo, and Gohan would all arrive at near Babidi's ship. Now, how would they be able to find it? Is during the tournament fight, Spopovich and Yamu would still take energy that the Supreme Kai has already sensed. So, he has already found Goku and his friends, and has already begun tracking them, so that's how they were able to find the ship. After finding the ship, they would then go right in, as Babidi was begin panicking, as they don't have near enough energy for Majin Buu. But, maybe, he could do something interesting. He would then have Pui Pui and Yakon distract them for now. As Piccolo and them easily defeated them, Babidi would try taking over Goku's mind, since remember, Goku is a little bit of a tainted heart. He would try Goku first, and Piccolo, as the two would begin screaming in agony as Babidi tries taking them over, giving them the Majin Curse. As Goku and Piccolo begin screaming in pain and agony, they would overpower the Majin control, not being succumbed to it, because they're not really evil and they don't need it. Babidi was running out of options. He would then send out Deborah, as Piccolo would actually get in front of Goku and say, "Let me fight him." Now, during the fight with Deborah, he would actually spit on Piccolo's arm as it would start turning to stone. Piccolo would then cut his own arm off, and he would then instantly regrow it. Shocking Deborah, he states that attack won't work twice. Piccolo would continue attacking him, as Piccolo's gotten really strong since then, training under the gravity. As during this time, Babidi was panicking as he was trying to siphon up as much energy as he can from Majin Buu. But unfortunately, Piccolo would then charge up a special beam cannon, wrapping his arm around Deborah, shooting it, and killing him. Since there's no one to cipher enough energy, Majin Buu is pretty much ruined. This is when the Supreme Kai would actually kill Babidi, cutting him in half. And then, he would then thank them both dearly, and him and Kibito would then take Majin Buu's egg to a special location to try and destroy it, or at least seal it away, so no one else can have it again. And that ends the Majin Buu arc much earlier than the original, since as we know, Majin Vegeta took over to be able to fight Goku, and that gave Majin Buu enough energy. Plus, also stealing Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's energy, that was how Majin Buu was able to be created. This also means that Hercule would not have Majin Buu, so he wouldn't really be as much of a superhero as to people's eyes, but knowing him, he would always find a way. As even though without Majin Buu, he was already regarded as the most powerful man of the world. So that wouldn't really change if he won a couple tournaments or not. He would probably still cheat somehow. Now, cutting forward another 2 to 3 years, we would have Beerus. The god of destruction would then have woken up just like before, reminiscing about a Super Saiyan god, a being that can rival him. Beerus would then inspect the fact about Goku, who defeated Frieza all this time ago, and how strong he actually was. Now, Beerus was surprised that a Saiyan could defeat Frieza, and he wants to go to that fight right now. Now, we are going to be arriving on planet Vegeta. Goku, Bulma, and all the Z Fighters were there, as it was Bulma's 38th birthday party. Everybody was there celebrating, as it was one of the High Council's birthday, which is like a ceremony to the Saiyans. So that means eat, drink, and feast. That's all they do. And maybe fight a little bit. As they were all enjoying it, Beerus would then arrive. As Beerus thought that he asked Frieza to destroy this planet ages ago. He's not very happy about that, as, well, I guess Frieza got what he deserved. He might finish it himself, though. And all the Saiyans were absolutely terrified to see Beerus. Everybody but Goku. Goku was confused on who this guy is. He would then wave his hand and go say, yo, what's up? As Vegeta has already told people about Beerus in his opinion, about how terrifying it is, searching around the universe and the gods. But Beerus is the most terrifying of them all. Vegeta was terrified, as he would then greet Lord Beerus, and before they even do any fighting or anything, he would then invite Beerus to eat a feast, as it was very hard to please the god until they give him earth food, which he would absolutely adore, eating sushi and ramen and more, devouring it all. As Whis was enjoying himself eating a parfait, Beerus was pretty satisfied with the food. He would then explain that he needs a Super Saiyan god. They have no clue how to use a Super Saiyan god, but Goku states there is maybe one person that might be able to, and he explains who. And he says, well, maybe we could use the Dragon Balls to maybe try and figure it out. As then they think about it, okay, but it's back on Earth though. So Whis states that he can travel back and forth to Earth and here within a few moments. And Goku states, well, I can actually travel in space, so I can get to Earth super quick. But they decided to travel with Beerus. So him, Vegeta, and all the other Saiyans and everybody else would then travel to planet Earth. As once when they would arrive, they would then use the Dragon Balls and to summon Shenron, who would then still state the same story about how 5 Saiyans are needed to give energy to 1, creating a Super Saiyan God. Of course, Goku would then step up to become the Super Saiyan God, but he wants to fight Beerus first on his own, as he thinks that he can do a pretty good shot. As he states, but Beerus, if I can't satisfy you in our fight, and I can't beat you, then let me become a god and give you what you really wanted. But Beerus wouldn't really want to hear it, as he wants him to become a Saiyan god first. He wants to fight a god, end of story. Now, just to clarify for you guys, Goku would have done a really good job if he would have fought without Super Saiyan God. So Beerus gets his wish. So they would then all get the strongest Saiyans, Gohan, Vegeta, and the others, turning Super Saiyan, giving him the God Ki. Goku would finally become a Saiyan God. His form would pretty much look the exact same, with the red hair and red pupils, not any different. Goku would then begin fighting Beerus as he was getting used to his power, but the first punch that he would throw while they were up in the air for the first punch would shock Beerus and actually make him bleed. That punch hit way harder than he thought, and the Saiyan is not even trying yet. This made Beerus a little nervous as Whis would then squint his eyes, getting a little bit serious watching. As now during this time, Goku would then begin powering up, using more of the power, fighting Beerus. The two's battle would be intense, shaking the entire universe, as Whis would then make a massive dome to keep everything inside so they don't destroy the entire universe. So Whis uses his own power, which they're nothing to Whis anyway, so they would then fight within a concealed area so their energy does not escape his staff sphere, and they're okay. Now Beerus was actually getting overwhelmed by Goku. This would then make Beerus go into his full power, thus showcasing his God of Destruction power, and he would begin fighting Goku back, as the two seemed to be equal. Beerus would then state, what are you laughing about? And Goku states, are you at 100% right now? And Beerus states, what's it to you? And Goku says, oh, I mean, if you are, I mean, that would be kind of a bummer. I'm only at like 70 to 60% myself. And he says, what? You're holding back? Oh, no way. As Goku would then showcase it by going to his full strength of the form, his power level is only rising rapidly as he's fighting someone like Beerus. This God power is only increasing his power level rapidly. He's like Broly growing in strength. As he's battling Beerus, Beerus would then use the imperfect version of Ultra Instinct and dodge Goku's every attack. Beerus would then charge up the biggest, most powerful attack that he can make at Goku, throwing it right at him. Goku would then catch the sphere, and Goku would be able to deflect the attack back, but the attack would blow up anyway within the sphere, hitting the two, as Goku would then lose the God Power as he actually defeated Beerus. Beerus was on his knees as he didn't have any more strength left. Goku, while he was back in base form, still had enough energy, but he was still pretty wounded. He would then help Beerus get up and thank him for the fight. That was incredible, as Beerus was truly impressed. He states, out of everybody I've fought, you're definitely the strongest other than my teacher. But don't get cocky, Saiyan. There are 11 more universes other than mine. And this means that there are 11 other gods of destruction. And some of them, as I hate to say it, are even way stronger than even I am. This would then make Goku laugh, as he would love to fight them. As Whis is very interested in Goku. He would then even offer Goku to become a god of destruction whenever he kicks the bucket. As Goku laughs and states, I don't know, maybe I'll ask another time, as he doesn't really care for it. But post in the comments down below, would you guys like to see Goku become a god of destruction? This Goku is not as carefree as the original one. Post in the comments down below. Hashtag God of Destruction Goku or no God of Destruction Goku in the comments. And that is it for this What If, you guys. Thank y'all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to hit the notification button, like, subscribe, do all that. I really do appreciate it. Let's get to 20,000 subscribers, and I will talk to you all on the next one. Peace.